Thanks so much for joining us, Commissioner Silver.
Thanks for having me.
Now, this is your fourth NBA playoffs serving as commissioner. We know you're also a fan of the game and you watch as a fan. So when you've been watching, what has been your favorite storyline so far that you've watched during this postseason?
There's been so many. I'd just start with last night. I think that Game 7, Celtics-Wizards, Isaiah Thomas, what a story. I know we're here for the draft lottery focused on the top 14 picks, but here you have the 60th pick in the draft, the end of the second round, turning into an NBA superstar, overcoming incredible adversity, loss of his sister just a few weeks ago, and the performance he put on throughout the series. So I'd say that's the one that's most immediate to me.
Today, a critical issue and a complex one is rest. You called it the single most critical issue in the NBA right now, but also, as you mentioned, a complicated one. So what are the first steps to solving the problem of rest?
When you look back over roughly the last 30 years, the All-Stars have played about the same number of games every year. So I think there's always going to be an appropriate amount of rest that's necessary. And also, it's in the fans' interest long term. If players are rested appropriately, we'd rather see them stay healthy for more games, be available in the playoffs, be available for critically important games. I think the things we can address most immediately are, first of all, what we've seen this past season that we hadn't seen previously is the resting of multiple stars in one night. That crosses the line, in my mind, from strategic resting to gamesmanship. And I think at our last owners' meeting in April, there was a general consensus among the teams in the room that that's not appropriate, that we're misserving our fans, we're misserving our business partners if we do that. The other issue is, to the extent players need to be rested, let's rest them at home wherever possible, because there's 41 home games in the regular season. Your home fans have an opportunity to see the superstar players on a regular basis, but especially when a team in the Western Conference only travels east once, for those fans in that city who might not otherwise have an opportunity to see that player, let's try to play the player on that night. So what we hope to do is issue guidelines to our teams this summer. I mean, by definition, guidelines are a little softer. I'm actually fairly hopeful that through discussion with our teams and these guidelines, we can deal with the worst parts of this issue.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.